pre-planned. We're gonna do a new melody, not the jazz one I just did, but.
You want the big one here, or you don't want the big one? We got your music.
Yeah, I got it. We were gonna do.
Hi, Emily and Ronnie over here, and Mauricio and Julio.
We were gonna do a different Lechuna Ranana melody. This one, which is kind of fun. It's a little more engaging. Ooh, this is a big one.
Yeah,
I like it.
yeah.
For this.
You don't need it now, right?
No, I have mine right here. I have this one. I usually just keep it next to me on the right. So if you want, yeah.
All right.
That's a good one. I guess if you're hard of sight, you can look at that one. Yeah. That's me too. Yeah, I'm in there. I'm in that pool already, but close and.
How we doing?
Shabbat shalom, everybody. Hey, hi. Are you joining us tonight? You gonna sit with the Levies?
No, now.
You know them, sit with them.
Wow.
Not the Moras are very nice over there.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
I can sit with Mauricio and.
Mauricio, yeah. They're all nice. All kid friendly.
All right. So we're going to get going because it's that time, I think. Yep. Gee, what page do we want to start on tonight? Oh,
We'll do the
no
Nigun
page.
first.
Oh, no page.
No page
Cool.
for our huge
Yeah.
congregation.
So we're glad you're back.
Thank you.
We've been, I mean, you were here, but then you weren't here,
Yes.
and then you were here, and
Yes.
then you're here, and I wasn't here, and we all
Yes,
missed each
and they're
other.
back. Yes,
And they're
everyone's
back, and everybody's here. So, Shabbat Shalom to everyone. I have a feeling there may be more people watching via camera than sitting here for the moment. But regardless, we're going to have some fun and welcome in Shabbat the way it deserves to be welcomed in, with some ruach, with a little ruach and a little fun. So if you will give your attention to Orit, she will guide us through a nigun to get us going this afternoon, this evening,
and tonight.
and tonight.
La 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 la. Everybody, la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. One more time.
Trusty ears. We turn to page 5. There you'll find Kabbalat Shabbat. Begins, of course, with Shalom Aleichem, usually, as we do here. And bottom of page 5, you'll find that hymn welcoming in those ministering angels to our midst. We hope they will bring shalom to us. Bottom of 5.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, Akadosh Baruch Hu. Bochem Leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, Akadosh Baruch Hu. Barechuni Leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, Akadosh Baruch Hu. Zeitchem Leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
If you'll turn back to page 4, there you will find the blessing, the song for the bracha for welcoming in Shabbat as we light the candles, Hadlakat Neirot. We rise as we bring the light of Shabbat into us.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner v'tzivanu להדליק נר, וציוונו להדליק נר של שבת. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
You are welcome to be seated. We turn over to page 11. There you'll find Lechun Aranana. Is this our different tune?
Yes, we're going to introduce a new tune.
Introducing a new tune tonight. Wonderful. Page 11.
You may recognize this tune, though, when Josh Washarsky did his residency here. This was one of the melodies he did sing with the congregation.
Wow.
So you may be familiar with it. All right. Lechun leranena l'Adonai. Lechun leranena l'Adonai. Nariya, nariya, litzurishinu, nikadma fanav betoda. Nariya, litzurishinu, nikadma fanav betoda. Bezmizrot nariya lo, lechun eranena l'Adonai. Lechun eranena l'Adonai. Nariya, nariya, litzurishinu, nikadma fanav betoda. Nariya, litzurishinu, nikadma fanav betoda. במזרות נריע לו, במזרות נריע לו, במזרות נריע לו.
Very pretty. Oh,
Catchy melody.
We need to learn that one for sure. It's
Yes,
beautiful.
that's a fun one.
Beautiful. Page 16, you'll find that the words Or Zarua, Lat Sadiq. It's the words that remind us that light is sown for the righteous, if you will, for those who seek righteousness, and joy for those who live their lives with an upright manner, if you will. That's the theme of the Psalm 116. We join together those 4 lines from the bottom.
Or zarua l'tzadik ulishre lev simcha. Or zarua l'tzadik ulishre lev simcha. Or zarua l'tzadik ulishre lev simcha.
faithful. Page 20, same spot in the psalm, the last 3 lines, you'll find Romamu Adonai Eloheinu, Psalm 99. We lift up our spirits towards God. Bottom of the page, again by the little red arrow. Page 20.
רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קודשו. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קודשו. כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו רוממו. כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו רוממו. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קודשו. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קודשו.
Page 21, you'll find Mizmor LeDavid, our psalm where we talk about the voice of God, trying to hear that voice of God in the world in all settings. Page 21, we rise as we join together.
מזמור לדוד, הבו לאדוני בני אלים, הבו לאדוני, כבוד ועוז, איי איי איי, הבו לאדוני, כבוד שמו השתחוו לאדוני בהדרת קודש, כל אדוני על המים, על הכבוד הרים, אדוני על מים רבים, כל אדוני בכוח, איי איי איי, כל אדוני בהדר, כל אדוני שובר ארזים, וישבר אדוני את ארזי הלבנון, וירקידם כמו עגל לבנון, וסריון כמו ורעינים, איי איי איי, כל אדוני חוצב להבות אש, כל אדוני יכיל מדבר, יכיל אדוני מדבר קודש, כל אדוני יכול לילוד, ויחשוף יערות, ובהיכלו כולו מרכבות, איי איי איי, אדוני למה בול ישב, ישב אדוני מלך לעולם, אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום. די 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 די, איי די 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 די.
You are welcome to be seated. Page 23, you'll find Lecha Dodi, as we welcome in Shabbat as a bride or a queen. We will do the first 2 and the last 2. Yep, 2, 2. First 2 on page 23, last 2 on page 25. And when we get to that last one, I'll give you the signal to rise and face the door as we welcome in Shabbat, literally with Bo'i V'Shalom. So page 23, as Orit sings and leads us.
שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה. שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד. אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה. מראש מקדם ניסוחה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
Page 25.
ימין ושמאל תפרוצי, ואת אדוני תעריצי. על יד איש בן פרצי, ונשמחה ונגילה. לך דודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
Rise and face the door.
בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה. תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
You are welcome to be seated. Beautiful. Page 27, you'll find Mizmor Shir, the Psalm for Shabbat, as we join together.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. כי שימחתני אדוני בפועלך, במעשה ידיך הרנן. מה גולו מעשיך אדוני, מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון.
We turn over to page 28, Sadiq Katamar. Like a little arrow.
צדיק כתמר יפרח, כי ארץ בלבנון יזכה שתולים בבית אדוני, בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו, עוד ינובון בשיבה. דשנים ורעננים יהיו להגיד, כי ישר אדוני צורי, ולא עוולת בו. עדותיך נאמנו מאוד, לביתך נא וקודש, אדוני לאורך ימים.
Page 30, you'll find Kadisha Tome, the Mourner's Kaddish. We have a minyan, so we will be able to do that together. Page 30, those reciting Mourner's Kaddish, you're welcome to rise and join with me. Page 30. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah v'yalma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol Beit Yisrael ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam ulomei omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shemei dekudisha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran v'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. You are welcome to be seated. You've seen me motioning if you're watching, especially on camera. Those of you here, you see what I'm doing. But we got our 10. Jeffrey walked in to pick up the kids to get them home before it gets too late and make sure that dinner is going. And and I co-opted him to make sure we had our minyan for Kaddish. So now we have a changing of the guard because we had someone else. Karen just walked in. So now we do have a minyan either way. But I wanted to make sure that we could at least say Kaddish this one time at this part of the service. So there's a story, talk a little bit of Torah for just a few minutes. There's a story about the Baal Shem Tov, who visited a large, beautifully decorated synagogue filled with, relative to the location, the upper crust of society. The congregants sat about, each focused upon his or her own needs and desires. And when the service was over, the Baal Shem Tov said to the congregation, "This synagogue is so filled with prayer." The chests of those there began to swell, and the crowd could barely stand it, as they never expected such a wonderful salute from such a learned rabbi. "Yes, so full," the Baal Shem Tov continued. "I've never been to a shul so filled with prayer. No one prayer in the sanctuary rises to heaven. All are stuck here in this room." It wasn't such a compliment in the end, was it? So one of the goals of Jewish prayer, we know, is to put aside the fullness of ourselves, which in the story, of course, was the case, and make space for God. And in contemplating this week's Torah portion of Truma, the sages say, "Hikdim trufa lemaka," which roughly means God provided the antidote before people got the disease. Is that pretty good, Ronnie? You're Hebrew. You're Israeli. Your Hebrew's good, right? Pretty much. That's the rabbinic translation, basically, of that. Hikdim trufa lemaka. Again, God gave us the antidote before people even got sick, before people got the disease. So what is it talking about? Well, in last week's Torah reading, God provided for us a well-set table of moral and civil and criminal and religious law. And in the reading that we study this Shabbat, we find that Moshe is still up on Mount Sinai. He's receiving the revelation from God, but the nature of that has changed dramatically. And instead of laws and behavioral and ethical ideals, Moses is receiving from God the architectural plans for the Mishkan, the tabernacle the Israelites will build in the desert, the designs and the detailed instructions for creating all of the objects that will go inside. So the next few weeks are really an architect's dream, or a designer's dream, if you're one of those, right? Because here will come all of these details of how to build it and then what's going to go inside of it. God, it seems, understands the challenge the Israelites will face in connecting to the divine, explaining the following, and it's the verse from our parsha, "V'yasu li mikdash v'shachanti b'tocham," right? "V'yasu li mikdash," make for me a sanctuary, that I may dwell among them. And in my congregation in Kentucky, those words were up above. You saw them prominently in the sanctuary, and you will find them very often in a sanctuary or in a synagogue in some way as words that remind us of what we're doing here, right? "I'm going to dwell among them," says God. Make a holy space, make a tabernacle, make a spiritual home in which you can feel my presence and worship me, says God. But really, it's not about God, but really about our need to create space in our lives, both literal and figuratively, in which we can seek out and discover God's presence together. So does that mean the sanctuary, of course, is the only place where God dwells? Of course, we know that's not the answer. No, it isn't. That's not the only place where we can feel God. We can enjoy music, for instance. Sometimes that brings the godly, the feeling of God into our presence. Or theater, in a variety of places outside a concert hall, right? You can just hear, you can hear or read practicing and singing, and if you don't know about godly voices, just listen to that one, right? We can pray, we can encounter God in many different places as well, outside and in nature, of course. But at the same time, our mikdash, our sanctuary, our synagogue, if you will, offers us a beautiful and inspiring environment where we can find moments for reflection and comfort and hope in difficult times, where we can find direction and wisdom when we face moral choices, and beautiful rituals with which to celebrate the most important moments of our lives. Our sanctuary provides us space in which we can share with others and sense the caring support and enthusiasm of a community. In essence, our Mishkan, our sanctuary, our tabernacle, like the portable one in the wilderness, offers to us an ever-present spiritual hug, if you will, that limitless opportunity to connect with one another and to dwell literally in the presence of God. So this Shabbat and during the next few weeks, we're going to continue to study the details of this magnificent tabernacle that the Israelites are instructed to build. But tonight, let me share with you one detail. We're going to look at just one detail, and we will read about that speaks, I think, to the message of the Mishkan as a whole. One of the central parts of the tabernacle is, of course, what? The Aron HaKodesh, right? The Holy Ark, as it is in our sanctuary. And there's a reason for that, because if you look at the plans and you look at how it's crafted and what's described, we see that in our portion. So the ark was to be crafted with two cheruvim, two angel-like figures, cherubim, if you will, in the English, right? Resting above it. And these cherubim were to face one another. Ufnehem ish el achiv. Literally, one brother facing another. Right? The Talmud, and not like this, but like this. And the Talmud tells us that the language ish el achiv is instructive. For the voice of God was said to emanate from between these two cheruvim only when people faced one another, brother to brother. So they would look up and they would see this, right, happening, and that only when we hear God, when we're doing this, when we're looking brother to brother, then that's when God's voice would be heard. And when they didn't, God was silent. The message, of course, for us is we want to encounter God. If we want to, we have to first be willing to encounter our brother, right? Our neighbor, our community, to show care, to show concern, to show recognition to those with whom we share our world. We can follow the details of the construction that we're reading to a T. We can make sure every detail is exactly the way it needs to be. We can build a beautiful tabernacle and we can call it God's home. But if we, like the people visited by the Baal Shem Tov, we only focus upon our own personal needs, we look only inward and we forget to look outward and look into the eyes of those around us, and we forget their needs and their desires, if our prayers, again, never focus beyond ourselves, and if we merely sit in the room without being together in the room, then God's presence will always remain a mystery to us. It's a wonderful message from our Torah reading, and the details, just one little detail can speak volumes in the next number of parshiot as we look at the details of building and crafting this tabernacle. So I pray that this Shabbat be one in which we encounter God's presence as we find ways to touch the lives of others, bringing love and bringing caring, bringing compassion, bringing holiness, and we hope happiness and shalom to our world. And together we say, Amen. With that, we move forward into our evening service as we look forward in our Siddur to 39A, I believe.
Yep, 39A.
39A. I don't know why there's a B, but there's a 39A. So we're going to look at 39A. And we rise as we join together.
Lai la la lai 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 la lai lai. Lai la la lai 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 lai. Lai la la lai lai lai. Lai la la lai lai lai. Lai la la lai 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 lai. Lai la la lai lai lai. Lai la la lai lai lai. Lai la la lai 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 lai. Baruchu et Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai hamevorach, hamevorach leolam va'ed. Hamevorach, hamevorach leolam va'ed.
You may be seated.
ומעביר יום ומביא לילה ומבדיל בין יום ולילה אדוני צבאות שמו על חי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד ברוך אתה אדוני המעריב ערבי.
Amen. Page 40, you'll find Ahavat Olam, our bracha. Second bracha before the Shema, reminding us of our connection to God through the theme of love.
אהבת עולם בית ישראל עמך אהבת תורה ומצוות חוקים ומשפטים אותנו לימדת על כן אדוני אלוהינו בשוכבנו וקומנו נשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד כי הם חיינו באורך ימינו ובהם נגויי יומם ולילה כי הם חיינו באורך ימינו ובהם נגויי יומם ולילה כי הם חיינו באורך ימינו ובהם נגויי יומם ולילה כי הם חיינו באורך ימינו ובהם נגויי יומם ולילה יאללה לה 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 יאללה לה 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 ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל.
41.
שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום בלבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם להות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך.
We read in the English together on 41 on the left. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all that is yours. These words that I command you this day shall be taken to heart. Teach them again and again to your children. Speak of them when you sit in your home, when you walk on your way, when you lie down and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand and as a symbol above your eyes. Inscribe them upon the doorposts of your homes and upon your gates. We turn on over to page 44. There you'll find Mi Chamocha, our words sung and chanted by Miriam, by Moses, by the people as we crossed the Red Sea, as we celebrated our freedom from bondage in Egypt. Page 44 by the bold print towards the middle.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש נורא, נורא נורא, נורא תהילות אוספת. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא נורא, נורא תהילות אוספת. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע ים לפני משה. זה לי ענו ויאמרו, מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע ים לפני משה. זה לי ענו ויאמרו. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא נורא, נורא תהילות אוספת. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא נורא, נורא תהילות אוספת. אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא נורא, נורא תהילות אוספת. ונאמר כי בדע אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מי החזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
Amen. Page 45, you'll find Hashkivenu, our prayer for welcoming in the evening and asking God for protection as we end our day and as we prepare to arise tomorrow morning, hopefully to a brighter day. Page 45 on the left, we'll read together. Allow us, Adonai, our God, to sleep peacefully. Awaken us to life, O Sovereign. Spread over us your canopy of peace. Restore us with your good counsel, and save us for the sake of your name. Shield us. Remove from us enemies, pestilence, sword, starvation, and sorrow. Remove the evil forces that surround us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings, for you, God, watch over and deliver us. And you, God, are sovereign, merciful, and compassionate. Ensure our going and coming for life and peace, now and forever. May you spread over us your canopy of peace. Baruch atah Adonai, who spreads the canopy of peace over us, over all the people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Amen. You turn, if you look your eyes over on page 45 to the Hebrew, there you'll find our Hashkivenu as we join together.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim. Ushmor tzitzinu השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים העמידנו מלכנו לחיים.
We rise on page 46 as we join together in the singing of Vishamru, reminding us of the covenant we share with God through the celebration and observance of Shabbat. Page 46.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם תמיד לעולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבות וינפש, שבות וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Remain standing for Chatzi Kaddish, page 46.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה חירותי ויבליך מלכותי. בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעלם ועל מעלמיה יתברך, יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי קודשה לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה. תושבחתה ונחמתה תמירן בעלמא ואמרו אמן.
You'll find the silent Amidah for this evening, page 47 through 52. As always, feel free to add your own personal thoughts to the words on the page, and when you're through, you're welcome to be seated. Page 47.
שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. 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 כי אתה הוא מלך גדול לכל השלום. כי אתה הוא מלך גדול לכל השלום. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם.
If you're standing, you're welcome to be seated. We turn forward in our Siddur to 173. There you'll find our Misha Berach for Cholim, our prayer for healing. And as we always do, we think of this in the context of not just physical healing, but emotional, spiritual, and psychological healing as well. All of us need to have that sense of shalom in our lives in various ways. So page 173, we join together with Orit as she leads us in our prayers for healing as we pray for those things that can help bring all of us shalom.
מי שברך אבותינו מקור הברכה לאמותינו. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mekor habracha Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Refuah shlema. You'll turn back in your Siddur to page 54. There you will find Kaddish Shalem as Orit leads us.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה,
Amen.
וילמד דברי וקראתי, וימליך מלכותי, וחייכון ויומכון וחיידי כל בישראל, בגלה ובזמן קריב וימרו.
Amen.
יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם ועד וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשא בריחו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירה בעלמה והימרו
אמן.
תתקבל צלות תהון ובת תהון דכל ישראל קדם אבוהון ושמיה והימרו
אמן.
יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל והימרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו ויעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ויאמרו
Toast the spirit of Shabbat. We toast bringing in Shabbat with the sweetness of grape juice or wine. If you'll turn to page 55, we rise as we join together.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפן.
Amen.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצבנו בשבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו זיכרון למעשה בראשית כי הוא יום תחילה למקרא קודש זכר ליציאת מצרים כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים בשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת אמן.
We remain standing as we turn to page 56. There you will find Aleinu as we join together.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגרור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים נמהל, ושכינתו זו בגבהם מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, קרקעתו ותורתו, ידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים נמהל,
Yeshikah. I think the Friday night service in our tradition is the best kept secret. If you are, I defy you to come in and be in a bad mood and walk out in a bad mood. Really, right? You just can't. And
I put everybody in a bad mood.
not at all. Not just in general. The themes and the feeling of the service, and then Orit certainly in your davening and bringing us up high into the rafters of the Spirit. It's wonderful. So whether you're watching from here in the sanctuary, you're here, or you're watching from afar, hopefully you've felt the spirit of Shabbat and of the Kabbalat Shabbat service. It truly is a gift that we have in our Jewish experience to enjoy. So if you haven't enjoyed it before, come and enjoy it, whether from afar or here in the sanctuary. We'd love you to be here in the sanctuary, but we'll take you whenever we can get you. So with that, we take it down just a bit of a notch on page 58. There you'll find Kaddish Tom, our Mourner's Kaddish. And as we recite Mourner's Kaddish, we continue to keep in our thoughts Elaine Shapiro, mother of Wendy Brenman. We she is, I believe, coming home soon from Hawaii, and we'll have some definitive plans coming soon. And we want to be able to give her some hugs of support as she goes through this difficult time. So we remember her mother tonight. We also remember those whose yortzites occur this week, and today, of course, and the week that is coming. Eugene Bresniak, Doris Foster, Meyer Gilgus, Jeanette Karen, Gilbert Andrew Medeiros, Bertha Feldman Moss, Helen Pruzansky, Shirley Schwartz, Ralph Schatz, and Fanny Weingers. All those reciting Kaddish Tom, the Mourner's Kaddish, you'll find at page 58. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, Bialma Divra Chirute, Biamlich Malchute, B'chayechon uvyomechon uchaye dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala uvizman Kariv v'imru Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mevarach Le'olam Olomei Olmaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal Shemei Dekudisha B'richu La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran bi'alma v'imru Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. You may be seated. Just a few announcements. We will be here back tomorrow morning, as always, at 9:15 for our Shacharit morning service, for our Shabbat morning service. Come enjoy. And I know that when you get up and it's cold, like it is tonight, you want to stay in your PJs, you want to stay home. Yeah, I don't blame you. Mm-hmm. Maybe we should have a PJ Shabbat one day for all of us adults. We do it for the kids. Why can't we do it, right?
In our fluffy slippers.
But, yeah, our fluffy slippers. What would happen if I came to the synagogue with my fluffy slippers on? I got frog slippers even. We could do that. That would be fun.
We should do that.
We should do that. All right, we're going to maybe do that. But for right now, if you can, take off those PJs, put on something comfortable and warm, and come join us tomorrow morning, 9:15. And if you can't make it, you can certainly help make a minyan on Sunday morning at 9 a.m. And if our little kids can get up and come, then, we adults can try to make it too. So opportunities, of course, for davening throughout our week at 7:30 during the weekdays, and again, not Sundays at 9. A couple of things just to remind you about coming up this week in particular. Hopefully you got your kolenu in the email this week, but our Kol Tefillah, the concert. That's the title. Kol Tefillah, the concert. Sounds like a Barbra Streisand, right? The concert. But it features Rabbi Joshua Sarsky, who we just heard several tunes from, and many others, many wonderful singers and performers and writers, actually, in our tradition in the Jewish world, are joining together. I think it's coming out of LA. And so February 12th at 8:45 via live stream, you can purchase $10 virtual viewing tickets. It's not a freebie, but $10 is pretty good for a for a virtual musical experience, and you can check Kolenu or the weekly email that will be coming out, or you can get with Jessica in the office about it. It's a wonderful opportunity, and as you mentioned, we had Rabbi Josh here a couple of years ago now, around this time a couple of years ago, so we are familiar with his music. We use it all the time, and you may want to come and join that and hear some more, so keep that in mind. A couple other things. It is not too late to join my Turning Points in Jewish History class. Wednesday evenings at 7:30. We will not meet this week, but we will meet the following week, and we are continuing to begin our experience of looking at various points in Jewish history and exploring those pivotal themes and issues that come from those points and that and how they affect our lives today. So I think we had like 19 people on the other night, which was awesome. We had a great time, great discussion, and there's more fun to come with that as we get into it. We're learning how the book works and how things are going. So you do need to purchase the book. Again, it's called Turning Points in Jewish History by Mark Rosenstein. And if you need more information, just call the office. We'll get it to you, but we will not meet this Wednesday coming. Finally, a couple other things. Heinz Preschool Spring Break Camp. But believe it or not, you got to look ahead to spring break. We're still in ice and snow and stuff, but you know, it's coming. March 7th through the 11th. It's open here at Heinz Preschool, open to all children, 6 weeks to rising second graders. Join us for a week filled of fun and activities. The deadline is the end of this month, February 28th, and you can contact April Smith for more information. And finally, a couple finallys. I have two things that are finallys, but the Martin and Sarah Marcus Endowed Scholarship. Now is the time to look forward for a graduating high school senior who may want to attend an accredited university, college, or vocational school to apply for these scholarships from the Marcus Endowed Scholarship Fund. So if you're a member of Agudas Achim and you want to attend a university, college, or vocational school, get your application in. You can get more information again from the office. And finally, I know next week we have a visiting interim rabbi candidate coming. So he will be here and guiding us through the service next Friday night and through Saturday morning as well. So just keep that in mind. And it is your opportunity to give some thought to leadership for the coming year and weigh in and have your opportunity to experience one of the candidates. So keep that in mind. Want to thank Jody. Thank you for being our usher in the back and for helping to make a minyan. Yay! We appreciate you being here, as always. And anyone who came out today in the cold, yay for you. You came and made it extra challah for you when you go home. Right? That's right. Or an extra cup of grape juice. Wine. Or wine. A lot of wine, right. A lot of wine. All right, with that, we thank you, and Orit, as always, Michael, as always, and Anthony, we thank you all for helping to enhance our service so beautifully. We're going to conclude, is it Yigdal tonight?
Yeah, let's do Yigdal.
I think that's a great idea. We're going to conclude on page 62 as we join together in Yigdal.
יגדל אלוהים חי וישתבח, נמצא ויינתן מציאותו, אחד ואין יחיד ייחודו, נעלם וגם אין סוף לאחדותו, אין לו דמות הגוף ואינו גוף, לא נערוך אליו קדושתו, קדמון לכל דבר אשר ראשון ואין ראשית לראשיתו, הינו אדון עולם וכל לא צר, יורה גדולתו ומלכותו, שפע נבואתו נתנו, אל אמשי סגולתו ותפארתו, לא קם בישראל כמשה ונביא, ומביט את תמונתו, תורת אמת נתן לעמואל, על יד נביאו למד ביתו, לא יכל יפעל ולא ימיר דתו, לעולבים לזולתו, צופה ויודע לסוף דבר בקדמתו, גומל איש חסד כמפעלו, נותן לרשע בשעתו, ישלח לקץ ימים משיחנו, לפדות מקי קץ ישועתו, מתים יחייל ברוב חסדו, ברוך הדיין שם תהילתו, מתים יחייל ברוב חסדו, ברוך הדיין שם תהילתו. שבת שלום, שבת שלום, שבת 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 שלום, שבת שלום, שבת שלום, שבת 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 שלום, שבת 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 שלום, שבת 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 שלום, שבת שלום, שבת שלום, שבת 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 שלום, שבת שלום, שבת שלום, שבת שלום,
Shabbat shalom, everyone. Stay warm.
Oh, thank you. Hopefully this won't fall again.
Yeah.
And it was a combination of style, Heinz, Western, opera, theater elements, they were all immigrants. They came in and adopted
Which degree was your dissertation?
So that was my doctorate in musical arts at UT Austin. Yeah, mine went a little more from a musicological, but it was work. It worked. You know, the best part about doing my dissertation is having a committee members to do it on, so they were learning from me. Except I did have also. Well, so a year Easter, I did things like Eastern studies. The dog's back.
Yes, it should be back on. I couldn't edit it the last I checked, but they may have fixed it.
I actually saw them, I think, last night. At least some of the old.
You were able to